down and jump over Jalen Rose in this series.
And here for the first time is Marcus Camby, who's been very active in the series, replacing Chris Dudley.
And he's going to use a little clock and try to break down Derek McKee.
Double team comes, he gives it up to Thomas. Can't hit. Put up and in by Camby.
The Pacers rooted to the floor defensively.
But aren't you the one that told us that quickness is something that you can learn? And if it is, you better give the lesson to the Pacers quickly.
It's about what you think. Oh, what a terrible play by Antonio.
Saved it right to Camby, who is fouled.
Explosive, creative players off the bench who can turn a game around are so rare in today's NBA. The Knicks have two of them. Not only Charles Sprewell, but Marcus Camby as well. In game two, Marcus Camby following in his own miss, leaving the Pacers riveted to the floor. His shot blocking has been exquisite. On the offensive glass, he has been tough, determined, ferocious, feeding off loose balls, finding plays, drawing charges that were incorrectly called. And then at the hoop once again today, Marcus Camby, who was not wanted by Jeff Van Gundy early in the season, has turned his season all the way around. And he told us yesterday that it was the support of Larry Johnson that got him through all the hard times.
He's going to have to be more aggressive out there, and that's always been a complaint. You never know when the real Derek McKee is going to show up.
Reggie Miller missing the three-pointer right off the bench. Houston had the D on him. And here's Camby from Houston with the slam and one.
The Pacer defense absolutely breaking down. The hard pick early on Reggie Miller. That allows Allen Houston to come down the lane. Allen Houston had two guys, one on each side. Kurt Thomas on the left side, but he decides to go to Camby here.
Looked off the defense and found Camby. And since Marcus Camby entered the game late in the first quarter, New York has outscored Indiana 16-8.
Schmitz's offense really works better for him when he can face the basket, get some confidence, and then go back in the low post. Sprewell.
Steve, he told us he can't pivot. That broken toe he has. The quickness again of Marcus Camby.
Who else? Marcus Camby. Man, has he been active in this series. He's just throwing his body all over the court.
Now the guy that's got to provide is right here, Jalen Rose, trying to go one-on-one, had it knocked away, but he's got to give them some scoring. You can see the energy and the excitement from Marcus Camby. He is just flying in all over the place. Nobody boxes him out, and when that happens, good things happen for Camby and the Knicks.
8 seconds on the shot clock for Indiana. Steve, we talked at the beginning about how quickness is a mental skill. It's about preparation and anticipation. That's what Marcus Camby is doing, separating himself from the crowd.
He came back into the game with 6-11 here in the second quarter, so all in the last 5 minutes. Herb Williams, before the game, he's one of the captains. He went out with Mark Jackson. Mark said, hey, I'm not used to seeing you sweat before the game. And Herb said, I'm not used to playing, but I'm going to tonight.
Tom? And he's on the floor right now. Meanwhile, Marcus Camby with another one of those New York offensive rebounds. And the putback is good for his 9th point. It's 40-40 with 50 seconds left till halftime.
In this series have all been in favor of the Knicks, something you'd rarely associate with New York.
Camby with a slam from Childs.
It has been a terrific second quarter as Childs gets knocked down by Mark Jackson. No call.
Unhappy with the offensive rebounding. They were out-rebounded 11-3 on the offensive boards. And finally spoke to Mark Jackson, and he said, as Marcus Camby comes in on a slam dunk, Mark Jackson said that they will not be looking specifically for Rick Smits here in the second half.
Mark Jackson thinking we're crazy. The hottest hand out on the floor belongs to Rick Smits.
They changed the plan.
Marcus Camby.
Camby up and under, 4 points to start the third quarter. Indiana has Jackson, Smits, Dale Davis, Chris Mullen, and Reggie Miller.
Tom, Marcus Camby's got 15 points in 14 minutes.
Charlie Ward should have given it up. They had a 3-on-2. It'll be Indiana's ball. But Indiana has turned it over 3 times in their 5 possessions to start the third quarter. Davis, another turnover.
The quick hands.
Camby knocked it away. Allen Houston stumbled and still scored.
And, you know, we've talked about Sprewell and Houston, but both of them are getting shots. They're just not making them. Camby.
Nice move. Marcus Camby. Jump stop. Right to the hoop for the jump hook. 17 for Marcus.
When Marcus Camby develops this into a consistent shot instead of just the luck of the bounce, then he can become an unbelievable player in this league.
He's 4 for 6 from the field, so he's shooting it well. He's just not getting enough attempts. They go back to Smith.
Jackson for 3. Houston leading the fast break. Camby. Boy, Indiana lacks about getting back on defense.
And that was Larry Johnson. And then in the break, you'll see Marcus Camby dancing over the top.
Steve, why doesn't LJ go to the lick every time?
He's saving it for special occasions.
Okay.
Right, you know. Well, he had no chance to get any balance. He thought nobody was there. He'd get a shot, Travis Best.
Camby rejects it.
Marcus Camby is everywhere. He's on the offensive glass. He's blocking shots. He's running the lane. And Toronto traded him.
You'll see him come down the lane and slap that one away. And the Indiana Pacers have 15 on the shot clock, 20.4 on the game. So there's about a 5.5 second differential.
Reggie Miller. Camby made him alter the shot. Jackson blocked by Camby. Childs with the outlet to Sprewell.
Larry Johnson is too good a scorer to take out here.
Sprewell takes the inbounds pass against Derek McKee. Still on the move. Dishes to Camby. Blocked, but a foul.
Mishandled that. That was a jam setup if you've ever seen one. And he couldn't, and he's had a great afternoon. Handle that one to finish the play. Sprewell is thinking pass the entire way down the lane. He finally breaks down the defense, and Dale Davis, Antonio Davis both come to the ball.
Beautiful pass, Steve. But you have to remember that Camby nor Latrell Sprewell have ever been involved in a playoff run before. Not aware of how much you have to keep playing. This is Camby's first try at the playoffs. Sprewell never won a playoff game in 3 attempts at Golden State.
Camby sinks the free throw. He's 2 of 4 at the line in the game. That was his 20th point, but his first in this 4th quarter. Now Chris Dudley replaces Charlie Ward.
And Jalen Rode comes back in the ball game. Derek McKee goes down.
The margin is 2 with 13.8 seconds left.
Terry Durham stepping in to make sure that all players are outside the 3-point arc before they come charging in. Up Camby's backside on an attempted miss here. I think he tried to make this one.
And he does. Good foul. It's a 1-point game. The Indiana timeout. 13.8 seconds on the clock. Indiana's lead is 1. They'll have the ball when we return to the Garden, the NBA on NBC. Johnson hit the 3 at the buzzer to end the first quarter, banked in a 3 early in the 4th quarter, and now this 4-point play with 5 seconds left has given New York a 1-point lead.
Has there ever been a greater 4-point play?
No.
More significance in the history of the NBA.
So it's McKee, Smits, Jackson, Miller, and Rose for Indiana. 5.7 seconds left. Can Reggie Miller pull out another one at the Garden? Here's Mark Jackson. Jackson triple teamed, tied up, got a shot up, no good. New York wins.